Coming to you live from downtown Detroit, this is Benzinga's Pre-Market Prep with your host, Joel Elconin.
This is a volatile puppy here, isn't it?
And Dennis Dick.
I'm bidding a penny. I will buy the stock for a penny.
With everything you need to start your trading day. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this Monday morning edition of Benzinga's Pre-Market Prep. I'm Spencer Israel, here with Joel Elconin and Dennis Dick. Hope everyone had a nice, relaxing Thanksgiving holiday and a weekend. Hope you got all your shopping out of the way. But we got a story to discuss this morning, and it appears to be the end of the recent story that we've been pounding the table on in the quote-unquote Bitcoin-related stocks. So we're going to talk about the moves in those guys overnight. And this morning, that includes Square, that includes RIOT, that includes Mara, a couple others as well. We'll get to those guys. We'll talk about retail sales results from over the weekend, and we'll answer your questions in our chat. As always, our guest today, 8:35, we're joined by Jeff Goldman, author of Failed Traders, the 20 Common Mistakes Committed by Over 1,000 Losing Traders, and more relevant to us right now, a Bitcoin trader himself. So we'll get to Jeff at 8:35. Joel, how's it going this morning in the S&Ps?
We are down a half a point at 2600.50. That's 2 ticks down from that all-time closing high on Friday, 2601. On the upside, 0450 is your pre-market high. 03 even was your high on Friday, so we'll keep on that as an upside target. On the downside, pre-market low, they got it down to 9650. No real number down there. Friday's low is down at 8950. Crude down 70 cents at 58 and a quarter. Gold back up near 1300, up 710, and silver up a dime at 1710. Dennis, we had some big movers at 4 o'clock a.m. I sure hope you got out of bed to catch some of those.
Just stop, though, because you didn't get the Bitcoin number.
Oh, how did I not? Oh,
that's a big day for Bitcoin. Over 9,000. I can't believe you dropped the ball on that.
Should we restart the show?
I almost think we should, but we'll give you a second. Go.
Bitcoin is trading at 9703.42. That's up
9,700.
That's up 7.46, and that is knocking on the door of 10,000. Spencer has a good theory on why it had the big rally on the weekend. Should we save that for Jeff Goldman, or do you want to?
I have a theory on it too, and I haven't heard Spencer's theory. So no, Jeff will have his own content. We don't need that. Spencer, give me your theory, and I wonder if it's the same theory as mine. I may have just everybody talking over the turkey dinners about it.
Yeah, I may have borrowed my theory from Twitter, but yes, I mean, I think that's a reasonable theory that everyone.
I think so too.
Everyone who's talking about Bitcoin at Thanksgiving, your cool nephew or niece, whatever, who's in Bitcoin, and then everyone, talking about it, and then the first chance you get, you go home and you buy it. So that's why it was bid up last night. Is right.
I think so too. Yeah, I am totally on board with that theory of the big buying here, obviously, in Bitcoin here overnight. So agree with you, Spencer. I think that maybe we should have been talking about that ahead of time there. There was lots of different ways you could play this thing now, obviously, with these Bitcoin stocks, although you're not being rewarded here now this morning. I just want to talk about a few of these things. The first one we were talking about last week was RIOT. And Joel and I were still kicking ourselves because we were talking about $11, and we both liked it because it was breaking out on the chart, and we didn't buy it ourselves. And here we are. And actually, RIOT, you can see it. Looking at it this morning, you're like, wow, it's trading down. It's down 16%. It looks cheap. You are not going to believe where this thing traded to at 4:30 this morning.
29.42. Now, Dennis,
$29. Yeah, it's got to $29.19. I just lost $10 here in the pre-market. These are incredible moves. If you want volatility, man, you got it. You got volatility right here, right now in these Bitcoin stocks. If you like trading those crazy stocks, because man, close at 23.60, goes up to $29 this morning when everybody woke up at 4 a.m. got in their retail account and said, we got to buy all these stocks that, have exposure to Bitcoin there. And then the bubble on at least these stocks burst at around 4:30 this morning. They've been straight down ever since. And that stock lost $10. It's incredible. 29 to 19.
Dennis, you got to get up, because just to see what the market in this, can you imagine? I mean, I'm just like, just giving hypothetical scenarios here. it opens up, with your 4 a.m. print. Where did it open up? The 4 a.m. print was 25 even, right? The market was probably 23, 26, trades a little stock at 26. It goes 26, 28. And, if someone's long, and this is just purely my theory, nothing else, you can get those prints up there because there's nothing in the way, right? No one's making
it's thin. The markets are very thin.
Right.
Yeah.
So you keep getting those prints and you get the 27, 28, and then you probably have a boatload at 30. It didn't quite get there. And then you attract the bids and then you come in, you just start whacking them. I mean, what else could account for this kind of volatility?
I think that's a conspiracy theory and saying there's people who are obviously, painting the tape trying to get the stock price higher. I think that happens. I think it probably happens in Bitcoin too. I mean, that does happen. Whether that, was happening this morning or not is just speculative. I think it's just everybody excited. Everybody's just too excited there. The stock was $11 3 days ago. They changed their name to blockchain. There's this real exposure to Bitcoin. I don't think so. I think this is just all hype. I think this is going to be, obviously, I think the bubble already burst on this thing. So if you're coming here at $19.85 now, thinking you're getting on the cheap, you are compared to $29. But I think the bubble officially burst here at 4:30 this morning in all of these stocks. We mentioned all these last week on Wednesday's show, I think it was. Obviously, props to the chat too for bringing us some of these issues as well. But there's 3 other ones we've been following, and let's talk about those too, Joel. SRAX.
Okay, you want to go to that one next?
Go to SRAX.
What is he?
No, go to Mara. Go to Mara. This one was moving even more. Let's start with a big guy, MARA.
Okay.
And this one's wild too. Already traded 1.6 million this morning. And talk about the pre-market that's closed at $5.95 2 days ago. This stock was $1. And now they've decided it has exposure to Bitcoin somehow. I don't know how. I don't follow the fundamental story here. But the market's decided in the last 2 days this is somehow related to Bitcoin. And if we look at it, 1.6 million shares already traded. It closed at $5.95. Where to get to at 4:15?
They walked it up to $17, and both of these
$17. They tripled it this morning in the pre-market.
And this one,
on no volume. It had to be light volume. Only traded 1.6 million already.
Dennis, this one you're really going to be kicking yourself. This one,
I'm kicking myself. My bum hurts.
This traded some volume. This one traded close to 40,000 shares on the bracket when it hit 1350. And then the next bracket, when it topped out, it traded 14,000 or 15,000 shares. So there was a little bit of volume there. Same scenario, thin book. And Dennis, the reason I'm going to take the opposite end of the trade on this one. How many retail traders? I mean, there are some, but I mean, are going to get up. Let's say they're in our time zone. How many are going to get up at can even trade on a off exchange after hours platform?
And that's a good point. There's a lot of platforms don't come online till 7, so there's a lot of traders that can't even get up there right at 4 a.m. They don't even have accessibility to the 4 a.m. market. So I thought about it though over the weekend. I was like, I bet you these things are going to pop at 4 a.m. Maybe you wake up at 4 a.m., get a lower print, and then they get the pop. Well, it kind of did that, and then they ran. But this is how things happen. They go crazy. You thought it was crazy on Friday. It got absolutely insane at 4:15 this morning when it got to, what did it get to again? Give me the MARA.
Well, one platform says 17. This other one says 16.99, but call it
$17 even. Yep. Wow. So, and that is what you're going to, this word I've used before, but not for a while. That is called upside capitulation. That is when everybody says, I got to get me in this thing. Right now, I need to be in. And then the bubble bursts. The people who all wanted in are in. There's nothing left. Air below. Kaplooey. I'll say that for you too, Joel. And they went kaplooey. And so if you're looking at this saying, wow, this is having a great day, it's up 2 points. Well, it's actually having a really bad day if you bought it at 4 a.m. this morning or 4:15 this morning, because it is still down 8 or 9 points from where it was just trading 2.5 hours ago.
And
or 3.5 hours ago. That is crazy.
And
crazy mover.
Mr. Left hasn't even had his say on these yet either. So
I don't know. Maybe did he tweet at 4:15 this morning?
We would know about
bubble burst. I don't think he's up at 4:15. I don't think Andrew Left needs to get up at 4:15. Plus, he doesn't do it in the pre-market. It's not thick enough for him.
And plus, he's out in California. So
so he's definitely not up there. Unless he's still awake.
SRAX hit $11 on the nose. Now trading back down at 7. Once again, hit that on that 4:15, 4:30.
They all topped at the same time.
Yep, they all topped at the same time, and 2 out of the 3, stopped at whole numbers. Of course, what whole number you're going to pick, like Riot, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Didn't quite get to 30, but once again, $11 your high, and SRAX. I guess for these, if you're trying to trade them, you want to trade them, just keep an eye on changed on the day. Riot now down $3 from the close of 23.60. A lot of people, they're scratching their head that bought this on Wednesday or Friday, and the majority of the volume will be at that 23.60 level. See if you can get green on the session. Mara, still a youngster, still in the green by quite a bit. That went off at 5.95. And SRAX, that went off the board. That's trading in the red. That went off the board at 7.69.
The only thing I'll say is this is not my style of trading at all. They're fun to look at. They're fun to talk about. And if you make money to trade in these wild children, of course, continue to do what you do. But if you are new to trading and you're thinking, I'm going to come and get rich here trading this Riot stock, it's a better way to get poor. These are difficult things to trade. I've been trading professionally for 17 years. I've made more than 1 million physical trades. And I will tell you, I have difficulty trading this kind of stuff. It is wild. It is unpredictable. Here you can look at this morning and say, Bitcoin's trading way up. Why is Riot down? This doesn't make any sense. I'm going to buy Riot this morning because, Bitcoin is way up and this is going to go back up too. Maybe the case, but it's more of a coin flip because this thing already topped out this morning. I think you've seen the high here in Riot at 29.42 in the pre-market. That'll never be on the charts because, most of your charting software, they don't include pre-market and after hours. But I will say 29.42. I think that is the top that we had at 4:30 this morning. And I think the path of least resistance, believe it or not, might be down on this thing. But again, these are coin flips. This can go anywhere. So I don't trade this kind of stuff because it's very difficult to trade.
And who mentioned in the Josie mentioned here, and we will bring this up with Jeff. There was an increase in scarcity due to the loss of what was 4 million Bitcoins over the weekend. I did not.
Who lost 4 million Bitcoins?
Oh, they just got lost in cyberspace.
How is this safe? I know they say how safe Bitcoin is, and maybe it's user error or whatever, but man, we hear about this all the time, these Bitcoins getting lost. There's going to be some big hack someday, and a whole bunch of people are going to lose some Bitcoins in their accounts. Like one of these main, companies is going to get hacked. They're going to be gone. And what's the recourse? I mean, I guess they're working on insurance, or they'll work on some type, they're working on that kind of stuff. But right now, if you have your Bitcoins and somebody steals your Bitcoins, they're just gone. You're out. It's gone. If somebody breaks into your bank account and steals your money, well, your bank, you've got insurance on that. So you're not going to be the one, holding the bag at the end of it. So that's, an issue that I have here too. Until they can get something, of security there where, hey, if I do lose my Bitcoin, until you can get insurance or something like that on it, it's a scary asset to hold, in my opinion, because that could happen.
All right, S&P is still hanging here above 2,600. Do you want to go to the little merger and acquisition going on in the market here? A little take.
Yeah, sure. Go to time because it's been talked about for a long time.
I was going to say it's about time this happened. So you beat me.
All right, we got puns all over this one. Okay, right. They're all bad
ones. Yeah,
talk to us, Spencer.
Yeah, Joel, you're one to criticize a bad pun. All right, $2 billion. $2 billion.
Grandfather all the puns on the show.
Yeah, $2 billion is what Meredith is paying for time. $18.50 per share is
$18.50 in cash.
Yep. Cash.
That's all I need to know. It's $18.50. It's a done deal. This thing has been rumored forever. It's $18.45 in the pre-market, so they're obviously giving really no discount, saying that this deal might not go through. They're saying the deal is going through. So it's actually $18.45. So you get a nickel. Risk guards come in there. If they buy $18.45, deal goes through. They make it nickel. Your time value of money, and that probably isn't worth it. So this story is over. Time finally gets acquired by Meredith. What's MDP doing?
Let's take a look. I mean, because no one else wants them, but
it's $3.
Yeah, Meredith Corp. Now that stock's done okay. Let's see how the street is interpreting this deal here. Trading up,
the market where if you buy something at a big premium, you go up too.
Yeah, that's right. That's traded up 365. This stock is must be a little bit more diversified. We are coming up on the all-time high in this one. That's at 66.15. That was made in April. Pre-market high, where we're trading at the highs of the section, 64.65.
Yeah, that's huge resistance up there. I like that level as a short, actually. But market's crazy right now. It's thinner markets here, too, still. I mean, it'll thicken up today. Fridays were really thin markets there. Not a lot happening there. So we'll see. But, I've never been a fan of buying the acquirer, and there's people doing that here this morning. So I've been burned more often buying acquirers than selling acquirers. So I'm always biased to sell the acquirer when it gets the pop on the actual M&A announcement. Jump over here to, we're going to go to ratings first because there's a big one there, and I got to talk about it square. SQ is getting downgraded this morning to sell at BTIG. Check out this price target, $30. $30 price target. Stock closed at 48.86. It's a big call from a fairly large brokerage, BTIG, putting a sell rating on square, price target $30. Joel, thoughts, concerns?
Well, Dennis, first, I mean, I like when you talk about your losing trades and how you consider it a good trade.
Misery likes company, so I can, talk with you guys here and make me feel better about myself. Now, I had a small position square. I've been holding overnight, that for how many, weeks in a row here. I've been trading square overnight, and I think it's done. I think it's over here now. I got up this morning, and I looked, and Square was downgraded to sell at BTIG, and it was only down $1. I was like, "Ooh, sell them." So I sold out. That is a good trade. So you can say, "Oh, you lost $1. How is that a good trade?" I'll tell you, when I wake up and see BTIG with a sell rating and a price target of $30, I thought it would be down 2 or 3. It was only down $1. I said, "Thank you very much." I sold it. I should have went short because it's down $1.66 here now. It was actually down even more. It was down almost $2 here. So I should have turned around and went short as well. I did not do that. But, I have no position. I was happy to get out for only losing a point when I see that rating change from BTIG. I think this story, you were giving the technical thoughts here, but I think this is looking a little bit toppy here now, too.
Well, I mean, I'm going to give you my master cynical take on this, and then sure, I'll give you the fundamental take. And Mark, I'm not sure what his last name is here. PAL is coming up on it. Back on, where was this? Back on May 17th. So let me get the price on May 17th. When this stock closed at 1956, wow. Mr. Mark downgraded it from buy to neutral.
Okay. Who is this? Who are you talking, Mr. Mark?
The analyst at BTIG.
This is a BTIG analyst.
Right.
Mark, his name is Mark Palmer.
Mark Palmer.
Okay.
So when it was at 19.5, he downgraded it from buy to neutral.
Okay.
All right. It's over doubled since then. Okay. And now he's downgrading it from neutral to sell. So just like going,
he's been wrong a lot already.
Yes. Yeah. Now I'm not saying he's
this
wrong.
Isn't our Deutsche Bank inch guy that knows what that is awesome. This guy's been dead wrong on this. So that's a good thing to know.
Right. Now, is that making me going out and buy the stock here at $47? No. But, it just, you got to look at the history of some of these guys. I mean, we talk about the guy in GE. There's some other very, very respected analysts. I don't know what his other calls in this, but right now I'm looking at that and, I'm looking at the rating. I'm looking at the downgrade from buy to neutral and now neutral sell. Spencer, he
upgraded them to buy in February, downgraded them to neutral in May, and then downgraded them again.
So he's been active in it. So, all right.
But he's been wrong. You're right, Joel. And that's good to give color to the analyst reports sometimes, too, because when you get inch, he's building up a reputation there at Deutsche Bank for his GE call now here. People are going to listen. People are going to listen because this guy's been right. Now, this guy obviously has been right. So people are still listening because it's such a bold call, downgraded to sell. But maybe the price target of 30 isn't really that extreme because did he actually raise his price target then if he was at a neutral already?
I don't know. I don't know, honestly.
Do not have it there.
Okay.
Technically speaking,
double
top, put it in there. Wednesday and Friday, 49.55. Next day, 49.56.
We look for that.
Yep.
Me and Joel love that. You see that setup? We don't like it from a bullish stance. We like it from a bearish stance when we see that double top. I wish I would have been lucky that I wouldn't taken it overnight. I didn't even notice it.
Okay. Double close, 48.81, 48.86. We're still a ways away from there, $2 away. So love to see it get back in a 48 handle anywhere near that close for a lower risk short. If you really are a believer in this guy, look at swing trade. You want to short it here at 47, put your stop above 50 and say, come and get me. I'll give you the pre-market low. The pre-market low, they've hit it two brackets in a row at 46.35, 46.10. That's your 2-day low, 45.70. So more downside under 46, but you got to respect the lows from 2 out of the last 3 sessions, right at 46 even.
Okay, jump over here to a few other ratings changes. Spencer, is there anything striking your fancy here that you really want to focus on? I was looking, there's like Western Digital, the Lowe's. Where do you want to go? We'll let Spencer lead.
I mean, there was a lot. T-Mobile upgraded this morning. Lowe's upgraded. They just had earnings, though. Not a whole lot else in upgrade land that caught my eye. Besides the square one, Buff the Wild Wings downgraded. UBS. I don't know. I mean,
chip stocks. Let's go to the chip stocks.
Yeah, that Western Digital is a big call, and Joel owns that stock. So thoughts here. Western Digital getting downgraded Morgan Stanley today. It's getting some heat here this morning. It is trading down the pre-market 3.5%. Chips are all beat up here this morning. I don't know, some of DRAM pricing. If you look at Micron, they're down. Applied Materials is trading down. So the chips are beat up. Western Digital is beat up here also on the Morgan Stanley downgrade. Joel, you own this one. You've had this one in your portfolio forever. You had the great purchase when the stock was back there at, in the 30s.
I don't know. I mean, I've still been trying to do the 80 to 90, keeping an eye on that trading range. I didn't notice that it put a triple top in from Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday at the 93.20 level. I'll still give it a little bit. I'm still going to use that 80, maybe leave $9 on the table, but save me a couple times. Trading down, not on a lot of volume here. Nice rally up. Just trading on the lows of the pre-market session. I think the selling is not done yet. 89.26 at your pre-market low. Give a target on the downside here. Man, 89.01 is pretty close. 88.13, 87.60. Those are the 2 lows, November 10th and 13th. So caught 88 even. Another $1.35 that'd have it down over $5 on the day. Coming back on the upside in order to fill the gap from yesterday, 92.25. I do not think we're going to see that today. Seagate has come back, right? Go ahead, Dennis.
I was going to say RCA is saying Micron was downgraded too. I didn't see the Micron downgrade. I saw a commentary on it. Was Micron actually downgraded here too?
I didn't see one.
Micron's down. I did not see. So RCA in the chat saying RCA. I did not see the Micron downgrade. I did see commentary in the Western Digital downgrade about Micron. I did not see an actual Micron downgrade. So MU's trade down. But you're going to go Seagate, Joel?
It's just Seagate real quickly because those stocks really decoupled from each other. So, if you're going to whoop up on the Seagate, just be a little bit more careful. But once again, man, nice technical formation in Seagate, Dennis. Another triple top from 40.47 to 40.64. That was over the last 3 sessions, trading down. Oh, no, it's flat in the pre-market. Is it offered down, Dennis, or not? The Seagate.
And that's pretty flat here. It is offered down 40.15. So close 40.29. Best bid's way down at 39.05. 0 shares. So it's just very widespread. It's probably going to open down.
All right. Just respect that triple top from the last 3 sessions. On the downside, if you want to buy it at the 4 and 5 day low, get out there at the $39 area. 878 and 39.08 were those 2 lows. And, just remember, these stocks have decoupled from each other. Seagate's been on the comeback trail. So careful out there if you're whooping up on this one as well. Micron, man, everyone probably thought that thing was going to $50. Got very close on Friday, 49.89. Boom. Let's take trading near the lows.
I had that short overnight. I was pretty happy about that part. Made up for my square losses.
All right. A lot of air on this one. Basis the dailies. It's too early to figure out any retracements yet. It looks like we could take out the 3-day low at 48.15. Look out under that, folks. You got a $1.50 ride down to 46.40. So important 48.15 holds in Micron. And who else falls into that category?
Well, there's you could go Applied Materials. We should look at them. AMAT. We haven't looked at them for a while, and it's obviously had the big move off earnings. Kind of just been sitting around consolidating for a while, trying to figure out where it wants to go. Applied Materials is trading down 71 cents here in the pre-market. You got so much support at 55.
56.
That's been the
55?
level. Yeah, that's been the level 55.
Okay. I see 3 lows at 56. So, or 2 lows. You're right. Only 2 lows.
But I just look at all those like 7, 8 times. That's the level that jumps out at me. You could go and you know how picky you are with your levels too. Obviously, I always kind of just look at what jumps out at me when I look at the chart without even like if you blur your vision a little bit. What looks at you see that level for like a month there. What number is that at? That was a 55. It's kind of how I do it.
Okay.
Blurred vision. Blurred vision
worked.
charting.
All right. Just ahead of that, pair of lows at 56 here. S&P is getting a little momentum on trading above the close now, 26.01 and a quarter. Just hanging around mid-range here before the imbalances come out in just about 4 minutes.
Yeah, we'll check those out in a minute. Then a couple other ratings changes. Talk Sienna here. We haven't talked it for a while. It is catching an upgrade at Bank of America here this morning. Sienna's been a stock that's been on the comeback trail here too. And you talk about a lot of old tech stocks. It's been around a long time. And I tell you, Sienna's gone nowhere. If you look, and Joel will go way out in the charts to try to get us. But this one was back there during the tech bubble, wasn't it, CIEN? I remember trading it back in the day.
At 1,057?
No.
Did they have a reverse split?
Sienna's all-time high, $1,057.
Am I doing the right? CIEN.
CIEN.
Yeah. Yep. I got the monthly up there.
Something there. Maybe they did. Wow. Anyways, okay. Well, it's $20 now, so it's 21. So it's definitely not come back. I was looking even the last 8 years. You can see, like in 2011, stock was $28. It's just been range bound here. So catching an upgrade here this morning, though, 21.50. I mean, if you're looking at tech stocks that have lagged considerably, this one fits the bill.
All right, trading up 70 cents. Took out some key resistance. Just over the last 2 sessions, you had some highs just over 21. 2108, 2113. So I think I'd be more inclined to see this pull back into the $21 area. The high close on the move was from Friday at 2098. So this one wouldn't be too afraid going out there. Low of the move, 1940. So even if you're buying it at 2140, you're risking $2 and hoping for a rebound here. This thing has been beat up since May when it was nearly $28. So I don't mind this one. It's close to the low. Of course, not the greatest looking chart longer term, but looks like Sienna could catch some hops today.
Speaking of close to the low, let's talk lows. LOW upgraded at Raymond James this morning. Price target $87. They upgraded to outperform. We know the stock reported earnings there last week, kind of had a whipsaw action off of it. Getting a little lift here in the pre-markets, trading up 66 cents. Very light volume. Only 1,600 shares are traded. So, but I think with an upgrade here, it's probably going to be trading higher in the regular session as well.
Came high, had the earnings, tried to get to that all-time high, stalled at $82, 82.22. Now on the comeback, hasn't taken out Friday's high yet though. 79.95, real close to that in the pre-market trading. After that, it really opened stocks up. So be careful on that 80 handle. Wednesday's highs 81.18. Just based on the daily charts. High on, I believe after the report was 82.22, and the all-time high in this one is 82.48.
We got just a minute here, so let's jump over to some of the retailers. We'll just talk lows, but Spencer, can you give us any highlights? Any companies saying anything from Black Friday? I know Amazon had a huge day on Friday. It was up $29. It's up another 10 here today. So obviously, some people went on Amazon and bought some stuff because wow, new all-time highs here again for Amazon. But was there any other retailers that were highlights there from Black Friday?
I don't have numbers from specific names. The numbers, the stats that seem to be going around this morning are the 7.9 billion in online sales on Thursday and Friday, according to Adobe. That's up about 18% from a year ago. They also expect Cyber Monday to drive around 6.6 billion in online sales, so that would make it the largest online shopping day in history. So online sales, obviously the big winner, which obviously means Amazon is a big winner, what you just said. And I feel like I saw a number of stories over the weekend of news reporters going viral for camping out at like 4 a.m. on Friday, and there not being anyone at the malls, right? Because everyone's just online. So. But I don't have any numbers from specific. I don't think anyone has said anything specific with regards to individual store numbers. I just have the overall numbers. This is what I've seen this morning.
Talk to me about Amazon here, Joel, on the chart. What are you seeing in the pre-market? I mean, we're at all-time highs. It's just straight up, right?
11.96.75. It just made a high print there, trading only 7 cents off that. I mean, if you want to pick a 12 target and 1,200, well, there it is. Very close to that. 91,000 shares have traded so far. So getting a boost here. I mean, what else can you say? If for this one, you know, you want to look to see where this is trading at, you know, right before the open, before more liquidity comes in. But right now, 11.97, that's an all-time high, is 1,200. I don't know if you ever see any size in this thing being a $1,200 stock, but very, very nice move in Amazon.
1,000 share bid is big in Amazon.
It is. It really is.
Well, it is $1,100. Put 3 zeros on. That's $1 million order.
Are they ever going to split the stock too? Can you imagine what happens?
Yeah, that's not the cool thing anymore. People are all like Warren. They don't like splitting their stocks anymore, unless you're like Google and you do that funky split.
Soho is mentioning Goose. People are out there buying those $1,000.
The Goose in it.
Yeah, those expensive jackets. Canada Goose, that is, 27.70.
Do they make it with real Canada geese?
Oh yeah, don't you remember the big controversy with that?
So you know it's really good.
Yeah, 27.85. It backed off just near the high. Maybe keep an eye on $30 for that one as a potential.
Someone says yes. Yeah, is that true?
They do use, yeah.
Do they really use Canada geese? It was a joke. That's really real Canada geese in there.
It wasn't. It's not geese, but there was a controversy when they first around the IPO. I remember from PETA making headlines. Let me find the story real quickly. Here we go.
Why is PETA involved if they don't use Canada geese?
Let me real quickly.
We got to research this. Is there Canada geese parts in the Canada
I remember that we had a report.
Jackets.
We had a report that it was coyotes. It was what was involved in their production.
Coyotes in the jackets.
Let me get the yeah. That's honestly it. They were
they were using the coyotes to catch the geese. To put jackets.
I don't know how they were using it, but PETA was.
We were totally speculating on coyotes are on the collar.
No, but
Jimmy A's got her back.
There was no.
It's all Canada. There's probably loons in there for the loonies. They got all the Canada parts in these Canada geese jackets.
It was regarding their use of real coyote fur, and goose down. So I guess they were using geese.
Okay, so you're using feathers, obviously. So yeah, they're using the down. So the feathers are okay. I'll tell you, like I said, my cottage, up in the Georgian Bay area, I've usually got 50 of those Canada geese sitting on my lawn. So if you need Canada geese, come on up to my cottage. You can have them. They poop all over the place. Dirty dirt bird. And then like when they're walking across the street, they don't even move. They come in their flocks. There's like 30 of them. They're just standing in the middle of the street. Everybody's got to stop. Oh, the Canada geese are crossing. They take 10 minutes to cross because they're alone. They don't care. You go near them and they hiss at you. If you're playing golf on the golf course and the Canada goose is out there, he'll hiss at you too. You go near your ball and everywhere near their babies are hissing at you. I don't know. Canada geese, not a fan.
What if you honk your horn at them? Will they get off the street then?
Not really. They don't even care. These things aren't scared for one thing. There's only certain times of the year where you can kill them. And I don't know. I don't like killing anything. But that being said, we don't need as many Canada geese as we have. I'll tell you there. Yeah, Jimmy A says they're crap machines. I agree with that. My lawn's full of it. Right. Neighbors with paintball, with a paintball gun. Although he's not killing them, so he's just shooting at them.
All right, and we get
color. Oh, you better stop talking about Canada geese.
Do you want to call Jeff on the hop here? You want to take a quick break?
We can go. Does Jeff know I'm going to call him on the hop?
He'll find out real quick.
He'll find out real quick.
Yep.
Okay, then we'll call Jeff on the hop. This is Jeff Goldman. The author of Failed Traders, 20 common mistakes committed by over 1,000 losing traders. But again, he's also a Bitcoin guy. He knows a thing or two about that. And is he with us? Hey, Jeff, how's it going? You're live on Benzinga's Pre-Market Prep.
How you doing today?
Doing okay. I think Joel wanted to have you on because you know a little bit about Bitcoin. I think that's why. I have a
little
hunch.
bit.
All right, Joel.
Just
he knows enough to buy it a long time ago. He's way smarter than I, because I never bought any of that. Jeff is like rich. He's like retired here now off his Bitcoin.
Not quite.
Wow, though. 9,500, 9,700 here this morning. Where is it? This thing is going to go up forever.
It's right. We're sitting at an all-time high right here. So
always at an all-time high. Has it hit 10,000?
All-time highs are good.
Has it hit 10,000 yet?
But not yet. But give it about 2-3 more hours.
2-3 more. I agree with you, Jeff. I think we're going to be there. I don't know. Joel, take it over here. You guys, Joel owns it. Jeff owns it. I'm the only person that doesn't own Bitcoin, apparently. So when everybody else is getting rich, I'm not. So you guys talk about Bitcoin, because I'm just the guy that wishes I had Bitcoin.
All right, Tom.
Not too late, Dennis.
Yeah.
It feels too late, Jeff. I need that 50% pullback.
Yeah, who knows when that's going
to happen.
Hopefully that doesn't happen. Be the top. It's your cue to sell when I buy. Okay, go.
That's what I said about when I did it at like 7,000. So
that was last week, and you're already up 20%. So you're not the top. It's me. It's when I buy, Joel. So okay, I'm done. I'm done talking.
All right, Jeff. A couple things here. Spencer's attributing the Bitcoin rally. Thanksgiving dinner. It was a big topic of discussion. Nieces and nephews, cousins, aunts, and uncles are all getting rich in Bitcoin. 24/7 exchange. They went out there and were just lifting offers. Did you see that, or did you see some other fundamental developments to account for the appreciation in price?
Well, a couple things. One, it's pretty funny that you mentioned that story, because before Thursday morning, I had a buddy send me an article, How to Talk to Your Parents About Bitcoin for Thanksgiving Dinner. It was a very funny article. And then at my Thanksgiving dinner, not me, it was a relative of mine, my brother, was telling everybody about Bitcoin. And then the next day, yesterday, I read that article that Coinbase opened 100,000 accounts just based on most likely people talking about Bitcoin over Thanksgiving dinner. So yeah, that's, it's all comes down to supply and demand. And the demand was there. And then there was that other story that we had talked about a little bit about on the supply side, how there was a new report out that said that approximately 4 million of Bitcoin have been lost and will be lost forever. So when and there's, first of all, we've always been talking that there's only 16 million of these, and there'll only ever be 21, and now 4 million of these are lost. It's a big deal when you look at the supply side.
How are they lost? Like, what happened this weekend? There's always something different. How are these ones lost?
So it didn't happen this weekend. It's just It's happened over the course of the years. Okay. So if you forget your private key, they're gone. There's no backup. There's no, reset my password function. And that's why it's so important. And I talked about this the last show. It's so important to remember your password, your private keys, and because if it's lost, they're lost forever.
Okay, with my goldfish memory, I should never own Bitcoin. Then that's another reason why.
There's ways to back it up and to store it safely off-site. There was a story about the guy that had his right next to his computer, and his computer caught on fire and burned the piece of paper that it was written on.
Whoa!
So there's obviously safeguards you can take, but if there's no reset my password. There's no one you can call and say, hey, I forgot my my password or my pass key or my private keys. So it's they're lost forever.
There was actually a great story in Wired about a guy, one of Wired staff, I think editors, who had put his passcode in a Trezor, which is like basically a hardware wallet, and then he lost the code for the Trezor, and it was all about him. It was like 30 grand in Bitcoin. It was all about him trying to hack into this supposedly bulletproof digital safe to get the code to get the Bitcoin. And it was a very good article. I highly recommend Googling. Just I forgot or I lost my Bitcoin, and then you'll find it on Google. But
did he get in?
Eventually, he did. Yes, he did. By he was able to connect with
hired a hacker.
He hired a hacker, essentially. This like 18-year-old whiz kid from somewhere in Europe who sent him like a different Trezor with the old software, and then he had to install the older software version on his new one, and it was a whole thing. And but yes, he was able to hack into the bulletproof, quote unquote bulletproof safe, which goes to show that nothing was really bulletproof.
Right, but that's still a little different. He was able to get his private keys from the Trezor.
Yes.
Now, if it wasn't backed up on the Trezor, then he'd been
exactly
out of SOL.
Exactly.
Yep.
Jeff, have you been noticing any of the price action in some of these stocks? RIOT, Blockchain, or Mara, SRAX? Are those catching your attention at all, or are you just sticking to the cryptocurrency?
No, I'm still on the cryptocurrencies, and you know, I think we talked about this, and we joked about with Dennis how he said, "Yeah, I missed it," but these are really, really good trading instruments as well. And it's not just the Bitcoin. It's, you know, there's Litecoin, there's, you know, Ethereum, there's Bitcoin Cash, there's Dash, there's Monero. And I think, you know, since a lot of your listeners are not only investors, but they're traders, if you feel like you missed the whole crypto run and you still think, you know, hey, I don't want to get in here, keep in mind these are really, really good trading instruments, and there's specific exchanges that work very, very similar to stock exchanges with level 2s and bids and offers and the make or take model and they trade 24/7, and there's plenty of liquidity, and they move and they respond and work well. Technical analysis, obviously there's no fundamentals because you can't really put a price on the value, but you know, that's one thing. Like I bought some Litecoin on a breakout last week. I still have it, but you know, I've got some trailing stops on it. So it's really, if you feel like you missed it, you haven't, because you can still participate on the trading side, and you can short too.
Right, we did. Yeah, we discussed that. There was an article on Benzinga that you actually pointed out to me about that.
Yeah.
Let's just talk here a little bit about your book and how you're using your book now and the rules in your book to apply to your trading strategy and your exit strategy, potential exit strategy here in Bitcoin. Is there a particular chapter that you can refer to? You know, because here you are, you know, sitting on some profits and stuff. What mistake are you trying to avoid?
I'm really trying to avoid the one of falling in love with a stock, or in this case, a cryptocurrency. But in this case, with the Bitcoin, with my core holdings, I'm more of an investor and not a trader. But for example, Litecoin that I bought the other day, exactly, as much as I think, oh, I loved it, I still, you have to stick to those rules and not falling in love with a position or a company or their products. That's probably the biggest one here, is not being so, you know, euphoric that you think it's going to the moon, that you do buy a pullback just for the sake of buying a pullback, just because you still think it's going higher, not looking at the chart or not looking at the main reason that you got in the first place, or
right,
ignoring your stops.
All right, I'm looking at coinmarketcap.com here, and you pointed that site out to me, and it gives you, you know, Bitcoin gives you the market cap, gives you the current price, the volume in 24 hours, circulating supply, and the net change, in a very weak looking chart here. You know, where's the net change? I mean, because it never closes. They're never giving you a net change. Did you notice that on the site?
Well, they probably just take a specific time, whether it's midnight. They probably just take one specific day and time of the day, and I'm sure they're just consistent with that.
Yeah, but I'm looking at it. You gave me the site, and it gives the 24-hour change. And I see it's up 7%. I do a 7% calculation of that. I mean, from your days being a market maker, being a trader, I mean, when you're setting up a new platform, isn't like the net change? I mean, isn't that the most important thing? Do you think it's kind of a little bit of a little bit deceiving, or you think that's just the way the platforms are set up?
No, it could be. It could be deceiving, but I'm more of a chart guy than chart's the chart. So I don't think it's that deceiving.
All right, let's move into the futures here. And the Merc announced it, 2, 3, maybe 3, 4 weeks ago, and a lot of people waiting because of all that institutional money, hedge fund money that needs to be on a regulated exchange, but back-to-back negative articles in Barron's about Bitcoin futures. Thomas Petterfly talking about it potentially taking down our entire banking system, similar to the real estate crisis. What do you think's behind the Merc's trepidation here? And what if they do come online? What do you think the impact's going to be?
So, I have mixed feelings about it. I think a couple things, and maybe there's people out there smarter than I am that could figure this out. I honestly feel it could be a negative for Bitcoin, and maybe I'm missing something. But you're putting me on the spot here because we didn't talk about this first. But I was actually just thinking about this yesterday, so I'll try to actually, give you my thoughts and play it out in my head as we go along. Two things. One is if all these institutions want to get in on the long side. Now, the futures are cash settled, so they can now start buying and buying and buying, and it's not, correct me if I'm wrong, it's not going to affect the Bitcoin market because they don't have to go out and buy the Bitcoin. So I think you're going to get a lot of people interested, and the open interest in the futures are going to skyrocket, but they're not buying the Bitcoin, they're just buying the futures contract. And I also feel like it's a really easy way for someone to just come in and try to really slam this to the short side, which is really hard to do in the Bitcoin spot market because you got to go to all these different exchanges and try to really short them. And I feel this is going to be overall a negative, but I could be way wrong on that. I think it's very easy for someone to come and really do a short position and just try to really kill the Bitcoin. I don't know. I mean, the perspective I'm taking on it is I think that there'll be a lot of, outright, buying, futures, speculative buying and speculative selling. But I think the real money. But I think what's going to happen is, which is a bad thing, I think all of a sudden the Bitcoin spot price is going to start following the futures price because that's where all the action's going to be. I think the transaction value in the futures are going to it's going to be so much more than the spot market when the futures are opened.
Jeff, it's a good point here, and I just want to, this is going to increase the liquidity and make it thicker and not so volatile too, is it not? When you get everybody betting on the price, that's going to thicken it up because there will be, you don't have to go out and physically hedge, but there's going to be arbitrageurs that will hedge their positions as well. It's going to thicken up those books and make this thing not so volatile, isn't it?
I think so, but then part of me thinks the complete opposite is going to happen is that, again, when you have a lot of money in here and it's so easy to get in and out, I mean, that's why institutions so far haven't really been in my opinion, because it's so hard. There's only, going back, there's only 16 million, and let's say 4 million are a lot. There's only 12 million of these things. It's not a lot. So once the futures come into play and people, that's why I really think that the futures market is going to be where all the action is, and it's going to take away. and the spot's going to follow the futures price. And if you get some people in here betting negative, which I think more people are probably bearish just because they think we're in a bubble and this is irrational. I honestly, if I had to bet overall, I think this would be a negative for the Bitcoin.
I think the ARB. I mean, I think that that is going to be where the action is. With the ARB opportunities, the cash and the futures. I mean, if you're long a bunch of Bitcoin early, you're a private investor. I mean, why would you not use some kind of hedging vehicle, a futures vehicle? I think there's going to be a lot of arbitrage activity, and I think we're going to get that, a more truer price of, where the actual value is. Real quick before we let you go, explain.
Are they doing options on the futures as well?
I'm sure. I bet you they will eventually. Yeah. Yeah, but now
not right off the bat, though.
No. I don't think anyone would hop into it, and the SIPO is looking into it too with some ETFs, so could be spawning a whole new different asset class.
So an ETF would be very bullish because ETF has to actually own the Bitcoin. That would be huge. Just I don't know what the statistic is of how much of the world's gold supply is held by the GLD, but it's definitely a significant percentage. So that would be huge if that ever gets approved.
Jeff Goldman, author of Failed Traders, the 20 Common Mistakes Committed by Over 1,000 Losing Traders. Jeff, great input on the cryptocurrency Bitcoin. We'll have you on again soon.
All right, sounds good.
Thanks, Jeff.
Dennis, are you opening your Coinbase account as we speak?
I'm getting there right now in the background to buy the top at 10,100.
You got to stop.
Click.
You got 10,001. But good call by Spencer. Good call by you. Coinbase opened up.
Oh, I should have bought it.
100,000 accounts. I know. Unbelievable. Wow.
Yeah. So here we are. We're at 10,000 here now. I think this is, the party's here right now. Everybody wants to be in right now. I don't know. I feel like I'm late to the party, but, I've been wrong on this thing, all the way up pretty much. So, well, I haven't been participating anyways. At least I haven't been wrong because I haven't been trading it physically, but I've been out and it's been the wrong call to be out. I should have been in, and everybody, I had people like Ace talking about this in the chat when it was $600-700. So, we had people in the chat who were very interested in Bitcoin and trading Bitcoin and buying Bitcoin. I mean, Jeff's been in since a couple $100 as well, who was just on here. So, we've had some good people giving us some good advice here on the show. But that being said, I've stayed out, you're in here now, and I hope it does well for you, and I hope it continues to go, but nothing goes straight up either. So you just got to always be prepared for that.
And Rob Hood, abbreviated interview. We did have Jeff on there for 15 minutes, but we are going to dedicate an entire hour to Bitcoin futures, the fundamentals and the technicals of trading on December 19th. That will be our show. We'll also maybe do a little bit of our normal show a little bit earlier than that, but it's definitely catching the attention of traders and investors. So we're going to get your appetite set for that will be December 19th.
Back to something I know some about, which is the equities here. So we got 7 minutes here. And balances, I will tell you, are significant. GE, something's turned here last, we've been talking about a little bit of a turn here. It is showing life. The last few days here, showing life here. Once again, we've been talking about showing life for a week because it's stopped going down. Can it start going up is the question. I don't know, but I'll tell you this morning it's up because there's 636,000 shares to buy again. That is a trend. We've seen buying balances in GE for 3 straight days. All the way down for the last 3, 4, 5 months, we saw selling balances consistently in the morning on GE. We are now starting to see buying balances over the course of the last week, and that is starting to offset some of the selling pressure that we've had, and you eventually can overpower it. So not saying we've seen the bottom here in GE, but at least it stopped going down for now. Twitter is 37,000 to sell. The only thing to consider here in Twitter this morning, Twitter's been going straight up with Square. Square has turned. That makes me a little bit scared, not squared, on Twitter as well. Alibaba 52,000 to buy, but Alibaba has is trading down in the pre-market here about 64 cents. So one of two things is going to happen: that buying balance is going to flip to sell, or the stock is going to start to rise. We got Verizon 86,000 to buy. We got AT&T 51,000 to sell. Those two stocks have decoupled from each other as well, to a certain extent because of the Time Warner merger there, but they're not moving tick for tick as they usually do. The banks are a little bit weak here this morning. We got the TLT trading up just slightly, and we got Bank America in the red, 124,000 to sell in Bank America. Citigroup 31,000 to sell. Full disclosure, I'm short Citigroup overnight. Ford 63,000 to sell. That's small. Visa 41,000 to buy. That's fairly significant for the $112 stock. That is Visa. And Square, which we usually see a buy imbalance, and we're not seeing that this morning. It is a sell imbalance, but sell imbalance is fairly small. So our buyer could still be there, just getting offset by all the people who are reading the BTIG report and putting orders in there already. It's only 14,000 to sell here in Square this morning. Stock has come up a little bit since then. This could be one that maybe opens a little bit too high, and if it does, I might be trying it from the short side.
All right, who's top buyer in here? Dennis talking about your call at VERI last week.
Shut up, yeah.
2050 was low.
I got scared away of the pre-market action, and I shouldn't have been because we never even got down there. And it obviously went up that day. Opened at the very low. It opened at 21.40 that day. Never even touched 20.5 that day. Top buyer, and I've been a top buyer too, so it's funny. 25.23 is where it got up to that day. It's got the support, $20. So you guess you got to wait till it breaks it during the regular session, but even say $21. That's been the support. The way I've been playing VERI is ACTG. A little more conservative way. They own a ton of VERI. So as VERI goes up, ACTG goes up too. And that's the way I've been playing is Acacia Research. I feel like it's a little bit safer way to play it. But if you want the pure volatility, you want the bigger move, it's going to be in the Veritone VERI. It's got support. I mean, support is support until it's broken.
All right, GE and NVIDIA companies announced a partnership to accelerate artificial intelligence and healthcare.
Wow. What's that all about?
You
got details, Spencer? You got details on that?
Oh, it's not. It's not a. I don't think it's a new partnership. I think it's an extension of the partnership that they've had. It's the partnership.
Something to do with radiology or something.
The partnership's been going on for 10 years now, and they're just going to extend it and do more things together. Where GE, where NVIDIA will power or use the chips, will provide the chips that GE uses to power its healthcare, basically its entire healthcare business. So anything within the healthcare wing that requires a chip, the medical devices, anything like that, will image processing, that'll all use NVIDIA chips.
I just want to make a couple comments here on GE, General Electric. Number one is we did get that. I don't know if he actually changed his rating on it, but the Axe from Deutsche Bank came out, was it last week? And boom, I'm trying to see the rating. Yeah, it wasn't a ratings change, but I think he maybe took his target down to $17. And the stock responded okay. I think this was on like Monday or Tuesday. You dipped under 18. So when you have a stock that's had a lot of negative news on it and it doesn't go down on what it perceived more negative news, that could be a potential sign of strength. Purely technical speaking, GE here, it's all about 1850. Since you've had that low of the move, the double bottom at 1746 and 1750, you've had a double top at 1847, 1848, flanked by two other highs at 1838. So big seller lurking at the 1850 level. See if we can get a running start at it today, trading up 15 cents, but only on 141,000. So that's my level of the day, of the week, of the month, of the year in GE. Whoa. 1850. Whoa. That's a big number, Dennis.
Square. Who reports this week, Spencer?
No.
Are we out of earnings season here? I didn't even look at my earnings calendar here yet. I know there's not much today. Is there any big guns? Like VMware, I think, is coming.
Let me look in the pro real fast. I don't
Take a look. VMware is coming, and I'm not sure if that's the next day or two. VMware.
Actually,
Marvel.
Not a ton of big ones.
We got Marvel on Tuesday.
Kroger.
Workday.
We have Kroger. We have Kroger, VMware.
What day is VMware?
VMware. Where's VMW? What day is the 30th? I don't know.
Wednesday.
Then after the bell on the 30th. Is VMware big? is reporting. That's Thursday before the bell. Kroger, Wednesday before the bell.
Oh, Ambarella's there too.
Ulta Beauty reports this week.
Thanks to Mr. John Dotson here in the chat.
Workday.
Marver, Autodisc, Momo. Tuesday, you have Tiffany, Workday, Jack in the Box. And then you have Thursday, Alta 5, Kroger, VNW, and Zoomies, and then Big Lots on Friday.
Wednesday, let me look real quick. Wednesday after the bell is a big one. We may have to carve out time to discuss this, and that's Lazy Boy. So we may have to carve out time to discuss or to tell the. It's been a while.
You want me to tell the Lazy Boy story?
It's been several quarters, maybe a whole year since you've told the Lazy Boy story. So maybe
of my friend getting rescued with. I won't give away anything,
yes.
But got caught in a Lazy Boy. I'll just say stuck in a Lazy Boy for multiple hours. Could not get out.
Hey, 9 o'clock and a few seconds past. Spencer, you want to wrap up today's show and talk what's on for Tuesday?
Sure. On tomorrow's show, joined by Nick Shaheen as always, plus a new guest, Mark Chamowitz. He is a longtime trader and is a purely technical guy who focuses on small cap and maybe even some micro cap stocks. And he comes at the recommendation of a colleague at Benzinga, and he knows his trading and knows what works for him. So we'll talk to Mark about his systems tomorrow as well with Nick Shaheen. But if you missed any part of today's show, you want to catch our lovely voices again, you can do that on our podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher, or just go to youtube.com/BenzingaTV and catch the show there. But that's it for us today, folks. Hope you've all had a good morning and hope you have a good rest of your day. We'll be back with you on Tuesday.